Germany's biggest bank takes a €2.6 billion loss on legal and restructuring charges. This is an unusually aggressive approach by Deutsche Bank, says Reuters Breakingviews, and it's far from convincing. Joining me now is Breakingviews banking columnist Dominic Elliott. Dominic, good to see you again. Deutsche seems to be taking what's called the kitchen sink approach here, but it's not without its risks and flaws, is it?
Well, that's right. A lot of banks have tried to do this. UBS has done something similar. So has SocGen. We're about to see the results of that later on. But Deutsche Bank is trying to, in a sense, put all of the stuff that it doesn't think is going to be very profitable in the years to come in one place and concentrate on the things that it thinks it can do well from.
Is that like a kind of, in a simplistic way, it's a good bank, bad bank kind of thing?
It's similar, yeah. They won't say that. They won't call it a bad bank. They are going to try and extract some value from it, but it's you know, for all intents and purposes, it's not that dissimilar.
Okay, so what they're trying to do is basically say, okay, here and now, we're going to make a break from the past. Yeah. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, on that thought, Gary Jenkins from Swordfish Research, he said, I always like the idea of a kitchen sink approach. It's as if the people who are now the co-chairman of the management board just turned up last week, whereas it would appear they've been at the institution for a mere 27 years.
Well, yeah, Anshu Jain and Jürgen Fitchen, the two co-chief executives or co-chairman of the management board, have both been at Deutsche Bank for a long time. They're trying to do something different. I mean, times have changed. You've had a lot of regulatory changes, so they do need to do something. But yes, I mean, it's convenient that they can say, well, this is a huge new reconfiguration of the way Deutsche Bank does its business.
When they were part of the problem in the first place.
Part of the business all along.
So I suppose what you're saying is it's kind of, maybe to the sceptic anyway, lacks credibility.
Well, we have to see how it goes, and they said it's going to take a long time. It's a journey of many years rather than months. But at the moment, it's hard to see exactly what's going to happen, and there's not a lot to think that it's going to convince.
Now, Deutsche, in today's results, not only did they have the loss, but they managed to boost their capital base by a sort of an accounting tweak. Is that right? Well,
there are two things going on. So they've changed their models that help them to measure risk, and that's enabled them to improve about sort of 25% of a 55 billion reduction in risk assets. So that's helped a lot. But they've also managed to accelerate the sale of some of their the bits that they don't want to keep, some of these other assets that they have put in what they've called their non-core units.
Now, this change to the risk model, obviously nothing illegal about this in any way. It was approved by regulators, but it's a one-off kind of thing, isn't it? And it's not going to inspire confidence.
Well, it is a one-off, and there is actually a worry that it could be reversed, because the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, that is sort of a global regulator, is looking at this whole issue of how you measure risky assets, and it's expected to come out with a report soon that may argue for a more standardised approach. If that's the case, then Deutsche Bank will have to fall in line with peers, and there's research out there that suggests that Deutsche Bank will actually have to take a lot more risky assets back if that happens.
And we haven't even talked about the litigation costs for all the trading scandals and such like, and LIBOR. They're higher than expected, and they could rise even further. Well,
that's right. I mean, they put aside $1 billion in litigation costs for the fourth quarter. That's mainly due to two things. Due to LIBOR, as I understand it, we're not expecting to hear from Deutsche Bank in terms of a settlement with authorities this quarter. It's probably going to be a little bit further out than that. But they're still able to say, we reckon, based on what we've seen so far from UBS and from Barclays, we're going to take quite a significant cost here.
Just to finish up, we've painted a fairly bleak outlook for Deutsche Bank. Are there any bright spots out there?
Well, it's the first of the big European investment banks to report, so we'll have to see what the others do. But at the moment, it doesn't look great. It's doing worse than most of the Wall Street competitors that it would normally put itself against. So it doesn't look too good at this point.
Shares haven't done too badly in the last 2 or 3 months there.
Yeah, they've gone up, but they've been slightly worse performing than the other banks. So Deutsche Bank is lagging its peers slightly on that front.
Okay, Dominic, thank you. That was Reuters Breakingviews, Dominic Elliott. And for more breaking views shows, you can watch our US show every day at 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 GMT. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.